Today I'm going to make a flat white, which is arguably one of the most popular espresso-based milk drinks there has ever been. As this drink requires espresso, we're going to need to use an espresso machine, and then the rest of it is just steamed milk. A lot has been made in the past about what a flat white really is. No one really knows where the flat white originated, but we're pretty sure that it came down to either Australia or New Zealand. In its simplest terms, you'd definitely be forgiven for describing a flat white as basically a small, strong latte. Essentially, the difference between a flat white and a latte is the proportion of espresso to steamed milk. The flat white has a higher proportion of coffee to milk, and for that reason, you often see flat whites served in a much smaller cup like this rather than a larger cup like this for a latte. In a cafe situation, it basically just means that you can put your shot of coffee in there and fill it to the top with milk, and you know that you're going to get the proportions about right. When it comes to an actual recipe for a flat white, I believe it completely comes down to the person who makes it. I don't believe there's any set rules. I don't believe it should be served in a specific glass or cup. Like with all coffees, it's just down to however you make it. What I have noticed though is if you go into a cafe and you ask for either a flat white, a cortado or a latte, generally it's the same coffee just with more or less milk with it. And the exact proportions just comes down to that person who's making it. So let's make one. I'm gonna put my dosing cup on top here, slide that in, and we'll get some espresso ground into there. Something I have found that makes a real difference is using one of these spiked distribution tools. It really does do a good job of breaking up the clumps in your ground coffee. And I don't know whether or not it makes it taste better, but it definitely gives more consistent results. So if you're one of these people who finds that their espressos are sometimes amazing and sometimes not that great, then I would suggest trying to make it as consistent as possible is a good idea. In we go. The cup has already been warming on top of the machine for a little while, so it's not cold. Let's pour a double shot into there, and then we can start adding the milk. That smells too good. Very, very good. Now that we've got the espresso, the next thing we need to do is steam the milk. So I use pretty much exclusively plant-based milks now because I much prefer the taste, and I think that they are probably better for the environment. If you haven't already got one, then I highly recommend getting one of these milk thermometers that just sticks on the side of your milk pitcher. It takes all the guesswork out of steaming your milk. So some people have suggested that flat white milk should be less aerated than a latte's milk. I'm not sure that's necessarily true. I would always suggest that you just do whatever you prefer. Make the drink that you want to drink. One thing that is really important for the milk is that you don't overcook it. I'm going to try and pour some latte art now, and I think that is a sign of really good milk. If you can pour latte art in it, it means that the milk is the right consistency. There we have it. That is how I would make a flat white. That's really good. I hope that you enjoyed my take on the flat white. If you did, then please remember to subscribe because I'm going to be making more content like this in the future, and I hope that you enjoy your flat whites from here on out. Oh, yeah, every morning.